Mary's got some flowers in her hand, and she's talking to her mother, St. Anne. I want to be always like this flower, and like the wise king, I want to sing throughout my life canticles and prayers before the tabernacle, ends Mary. And Mary's about 3 years old here. How do you know these holy things, my darling? Who told you? Your father? No. I do not know who it is. I think I've always known them. Perhaps there's one who tells me, and I do not see him. Perhaps one of the angels that God sends to speak to good people. Mummy, will you tell me another story? Oh, my dear, which story do you wish to know? Mary is thinking, deeply absorbed in her thoughts. Her expression should be immortalised in a portrait. The shadow of her thoughts are reflected on her childish face. There are smiles and sighs, sunshine and clouds, thinking of the history of Israel. Then she makes up her mind. Once again, the story of Gabriel and Daniel, where Christ is promised. I'll just stop there. This is a very important story. The book of Daniel is full of amazing things, but one of the most amazing things in the entire Old Testament is the prediction contained in the book of Daniel of when our Lord Jesus Christ will be on the earth. It is a prediction that is not vague, it is precise, from a particular date, counting a number of years. And it also predicts the destruction of the Temple of Jerusalem, which actually happened in 70 AD. It's called the prophecy of the 70 weeks. Catholics are not likely to know much about it, but Protestants are very much clued into this. And it appears at various times throughout the writings of Maria Valtorta. And this quite astonishing because Maria Valtorta is like us, Catholic. She's middle class. She's got a great gift, great descriptive gift, as I think you will have recognised in the opening paragraphs that I read. But she's not got an intense biblical education by any means. Nothing of the sort. And she's not been brought up on biblical commentaries, as we Catholics are not, and we're not before the Second Vatican Council either. So the book of Daniel and the references to the 70 weeks prophecy in the writings of Maria Valtorta are all the more astonishing, because if she's just a Catholic making this stuff up, there'd be nothing in this work about the book of Daniel and that famous prophecy. So I shall read on. Talking of Mary now, so Mary has been asked what story she wishes to know, and she says, once again, the story of Gabriel and Daniel, where Christ is promised. And she listens with her eyes closed, repeating in a low voice the words her mother says, as if to remember them better. When Anne comes to the end, she asks, how long will it be before we have the Emmanuel? And Anne replies, about 30 years, my darling. Mary says, such a long time, and I shall be in the temple. Tell me, if I should pray very hard, so hard, day and night and day, and I wanted to belong only to God, for all my life, for this purpose, would the Eternal Father grant me the grace of sending the Messiah to his people sooner? Just again to pause here. Mary's asked Anne when the Emmanuel, the Messiah, will come. And St. Anne has given her a specific time. St. Anne has said about 30 years. Now Mary is 3 years old. So the expectation is that Mary will be a grown woman, and it'll be around the time that she's 30, 33, that there'll be the Messiah. that he will perhaps appear then as the Messiah. That means Israel was in expectation of the Messiah at this time. It was imminent, the dawning of the Messiah. And that should colour how we read the responses of individuals and crowds to Jesus and the authorities to Jesus in the Gospels.